You spent 30 odd years building a life and suddenly you've hit a wall. Maybe it's a layoff, maybe it's a burnout, or maybe it's retirement. Feels more like a dead end than a finish line. But here's the truth. You're not winding down, you're just getting started. I'm Patrick, and today I'm going to show you how you can challenge your current mindset and start to reinvent yourself and embrace the next 25 to 30 years or whatever with renewed vigor. Let's go. So you've hit the wall. Maybe it was a layoff after 30 years, maybe it was retirement. And it turns out that for you, relaxing is actually just a code for bored to death. Or maybe you're just done, burnt out. A lot of people hit 55 and think, well, this is the beginning of the end. Wrong. With the longevity revolution we're living through at the moment, you might have another 25, 35, 40 odd years of high octane life left in the tank. That's not a retirement, that's an entire second lifetime. But to claim it, you have to do one thing. You have to decide to be relevant. Just a quick word at this point to say thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope you're enjoying my videos. If so, please give me a thumbs up and maybe a follow. I really would appreciate it. Lots of great content coming through, all to do with the 55 plus age group and trying to live a more positive lifestyle. I want to tell you a quick story about a guy that I met recently. He spent 5 years working in a safari park in South Africa. Lions, tigers, wild predators every single day. And he never got so much as a scratch. He comes back home to the UK, goes out for a night with friends in London, trips on an escalator and loses an arm. Poor chap. Doesn't even cut it. A freak accident. 5 years with apex predators. Absolutely fine. One night in the city, life altered forever. When I met him, he was the happiest, most vibrant person in the room. I had to ask him, how? Weren't you angry? Weren't you devastated? And he told me that he was lying in the hospital bed, feeling like his life was over. And then he realized my life is over unless I decide right now to kill the old story. He said he had to decide that he was going to make his life the richest thing it could possibly be, arm or no arm. What a guy. So that's the secret. Reinvention. It isn't a maybe, it's a must. And you have to make it a must. Think back to when you were younger. You had dreams, goals that kept you up all night. You didn't always know how you were going to achieve them, but you were obsessed with those goals. And because you were obsessed, you started noticing the opportunities. You met the right people and you figured it all out. Well, guess what? The physics of success doesn't change just because you're 55. The only thing that's changed is the story that you're telling yourself. If your story is, I'm too old, then you're right, you are. But if your story is, I'm just getting started, your brain will start looking for the how again. Stop the story that says it's over. Break the cycle, break the habit of being the old you. You have got decades of wisdom, a lifetime of skills, and a world that needs what you have. It's time to stop accepting fine and start demanding extraordinary. You've got the time. Now go and get the life. So how can you reinvent yourself after 55? If you feel stuck in a rut, there are 2 concise ways to flip the switch on your mindset today. One of them is the audit of obsession. Write down 3 things that you were passionate about in your 20s or your 30s that you dropped because life got in the way. Pick one and commit to spending just 30 minutes a day on that subject this week. This reignites the beginner's brain and breaks the burnout loop. The second one for today is the language pivot. Listen to your internal monologue, that little voice in your head. Every time you say, I'm too old for, or at my age, stop immediately and rephrase it. Just say, with my experience, I can now. Changing the prefix changes the outcome. If a guy can survive lions only to lose an arm on an escalator and still come out smiling, what's the excuse? Thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. If so, please give it a thumbs up and maybe give me a follow. I really would appreciate it. I have lots more great content for you. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, may your God go with you. Thank you.